How's it going, everyone? Today I'm here with my PWG Man on the Silver Mountain Blu-ray review. I know it's been a little while since I reviewed PWG on this channel. Honestly, I've just been lazy and kind of, falling behind on PWG, but now I'm playing catch-up. Of course, I have this show to review today, and then eventually I'll be watching Pushing Forward Back to review that as well, and then, of course, Bolo will probably be coming out in the next month or so. So, pretty much playing catch-up, and, of course, I'll be all caught up after the next show I watch after this one, so I'm not really too far behind, but... yeah, it's been a while, like I said, but we'll stop wasting any time and go ahead and jump right into the video for the review. Of course, they have the cover art as always. Of course, they have the logo right there of Man on the Silver Mountain. I really like the way it's formatted mountain. I don't know what it is, but I just really like the way it's fonted and the way it came off. You got Chuck Taylor right there eating a boot from Trevor Lee. You got Marty, Scurll, Zack, Sabre Jr., and Kyle Riley on the cover right there with the purple background. Pros and Gorillas, Man on the Silver Mountain, June 16th, Sydal, California. Nice cover, I like it. And of course, with the spine right there, Man on the Silver Mountain with a picture of Keith Lee on the spine. And of course, once you open it up, the artwork on the inside is Keith Lee just giving a beautiful pounce to Lio Rush in their match. And then of course, you have Brian Cage and Raymond Rowe going at it on the disc right there. And then of course, the back, as always, pictures of highlighting the event, pretty much giving you a sneak peek of what's to come on the show once you watch it. And of course, here's the back with the matches and the little description. On June 16th, 2017, Pro Wrestling returned with Man on the Silver Mountain and Comical Refractive Zeta, California. Man on the Silver Mountain on Blu-ray features 7 incredible matches, including, of course, there is the match card right there for the show if you want to pause and read it. But, yeah, my overall thoughts on the show was, it was good. I know the show is getting a lot of negative reviews. People are saying it was terrible, and this wasn't a good show, but I thought it was good still. You had 2 great matches, and you had 2 matches that kind of sucked. But I don't know, I wouldn't call it terrible. Definitely not PWG's finest shows they've had. This is probably their weakest show since, I want to say, DDT4 2015, I want to say. This is worse than that show, but besides that, I don't remember the last time they really had a show this low of a caliber. I know the card got switched around because Matt Riddle had to get pulled from the show, but even before Matt Riddle got pulled, I think the card really wasn't that strong to begin with anyways. So, I mean, him getting pulled definitely didn't help, but I don't think, it made the show worse than it would have been. But, I still think it was good. It's about 2 hours and 10 minutes, so it's not a very long show, but it is kind of easy to sit through. I think just because how short the show is, it's barely 2 hours, and the main event's pretty long. And the main event was great, too, so everything else kind of wasn't that long to watch. But, I don't know. I don't think it was bad, but it definitely isn't PWG's finest, like I said. So that's my thoughts on the overall show. The show opened up with Trevor Lee versus Chuck Taylor. Right from the get-go, Chuck Taylor tried to, go after Trevor Lee, but Trevor Lee actually countered it into his reverse cross body. Would go over Chuck Taylor for a little bit, some on the outside, some PK kicks. Chuck Taylor would throw some chairs at him, would actually drop kick him onto the chair and actually nearly kill himself by landing on a fan's knee. So Chuck Taylor took control, go back in the ring. The match was pretty back and forth. Chuck Taylor actually took advantage and, worked over Trevor Lee for a little bit, put him in a half Boston Crab. Trevor Lee would fight out of it, get the advantage. They just have a nice back and forth match. Chuck Taylor hit a beautiful soulful on Trevor Lee, who sold it beautifully. I'm not sure what Chuck Taylor was going for. I think he was going for like an Avalanche Falcon Arrow or something, but he was going for something on the top rope. He actually ended up slipping and ended up beautifully countering it though into a superplex. So he actually countered or saved that bot from pretty much almost killing both of them. But, yeah, this is good stuff. Trevor Lee, got some nice near falls. Chuck Taylor at the end was able to hit a series of super kicks, followed by a running crossbody to secure the victory. So Chuck Taylor defeats Trevor Lee with a running crossbody, which is, I love the ending because, of course, the match began with Chuck Taylor attempting a running crossbody, got countered by Trevor Lee, but this time, the one time he didn't counter it was the reason why he lost. So that was a great ending to a damn good opener. I'm not sure if it's better than their All-Star Weekend 12 match, but this definitely was a fun opener and I really enjoyed it, and Chuck Taylor looked great. Trevor Lee, to me, he kind of seems like he doesn't really care anymore. I don't see that energy from him anymore that I used to see. He relies too much on his TNA gimmick to really get heat. And, I like Trevor Lee, but just, I don't know. Him and PWG the last, year or so, I just haven't seen that drive he had, 2 years ago. So, I don't know. A good opener, enjoyed that. From there, we go to a 3-way match. Jason Cade versus Crist versus Dezmond and Xavier. Talk about pure and utter garbage. This match sucked. Usually I'm all for Spot Fest, but this was just not fun. Crist looked like complete and utter shit. He tried to keep up with the other two, but he just could not. Everything he did came out so sloppy and shitty that God, he sucks. And, Dezmond and Xavier, he tried. I'm still not impressed with them, but, he was definitely the best out of the three in this match. Just a lot of repetitive stuff. They did, of course, a spot where they all did dives on the outside, and Crist just, struggled horribly doing them, and they all just did, dives back and forth, back and forth, back and forth on the outside, which led to an RKO fest. They all started hitting RKOs. They all started hitting DDTs. It was just all repetitive. And like I said, I usually love a spot fest, but this does not catch on me at all. Was not enjoying it, and, everything came off so fucking sloppy and shitty that it was nearly impossible to enjoy this. Crist almost died a few times. He almost killed himself, or almost killed Jason Cade hitting the freaking Canadian stride at the top rope. It was very sloppy and did not come off good at all. Dezmond and Xavier won with a Cancun tornado at the top rope to secure the win. So yeah, just very, very sloppy, and just, God, they all seem so green, and just they almost killed each other. I'll just say that. But yeah, it wasn't a good match by any means. Keith Lee versus Lio Rush. Now this was an awesome match right here. The gimmick of the match was, of course, Keith Lee's like twice Lio Rush's size, but Lio Rush didn't prevent him from trying to fight back and beat him. It was kind of like a little brother big brother dynamic where Keith Lee was kind of toying with him, while Lio Rush was trying his hardest to get the best of him. Keith Lee was just throwing him around. Lio Rush would try to run attack him, but just was not budging. Lio Rush actually was able to hit a DDT or DVD on him, followed by the Dragon's Call, which Keith Lee kicked out at 1. Keith Lee just threw him around, gave him a beautiful pounce right into the bottom rope, which nearly ripped off Lio Rush's head. Lio Rush was able to send him to the outside at one point, which he did a tope suicida, but just Keith Lee did not budge when he hit, so it kind of looked like Lio Rush pretty much just ran to a brick wall and just went straight to the ground. But this was a lot of fun. This was great. Like I said, the dynamic of these two, even though the size differences were tremendously different, I thought their styles really meshed well, and Keith Lee was kind of toying with them. At one point, Lio Rush had to resort to getting him a titty twister to get the upper hand on him. So, he did that, and then, Keith Lee countered by just chopping the shit out of his chest with Mongolian chops, which probably killed Lio Rush. And then, of course, Lio Rush did his thing where, he was hulking up after Keith Lee did a splash off the second rope onto him, and he was trying to, hulk up like he always does by no-selling it and just hulking around, kicking out at 1, and then eventually he just, fell down, and then, Keith Lee hit him with the Spirit Bomb for the win. So, yeah, great match right there. Best singles match in the card. Just like I said, the contrast of styles really meshed well and just made for a really fun match. So, Keith Lee, Lio Rush had a great match. Then we go to the Unbreakable FM Machines versus War Machine. This was a good, solid little tag team match here. The match started off with all of them just going, brawling on the outside from the get-go. Match gets back in the ring. You had Cade and Elgin dominate for a while. They were pretty much, double teaming Hanson for the majority of the match. Did the tandem stalling suplex where Elgin held them up, and then Cade tagged in, and then held them up, and then, of course, again, the suplex, which, they couldn't do the thing where they kept tagging in and out because, obviously, they were both struggling to hold Hanson up. But, they did some good tag team work. Rowe got the hot tag. It was able to pretty much go ballistic on both Cade and Elgin, hitting some nice lariats, and of course, by the time they were going for their double finish, Elgin was able to make the save by hitting a super kick on Hanson when he went for the springboard lariat. And yeah, I thought both teams meshed pretty well. I thought they could have done better, but Elgin and Cade tried to do their signature stuff, but they couldn't really pull it off the best because Hanson and Rowe are two huge guys, so they couldn't properly do their moves. But I thought their style still meshed very well. The ending was pretty chaotic as well, and definitely wasn't expecting the finish to be what it was because Cade actually got the victory with an F5 on Rowe, I believe it was, and secured the win. So it was a good, solid tag team match. Both teams meshed well, like I said. Could have been better, but I still enjoyed the match. Enjoyed the match for what it was. From there, I'm gonna go to Sami Callihan versus Matt Sidell. Garbage match. Sami Callihan fucking sucks. Right from the get-go, he tried to sprint. He did his thing on the outside where he puts him down the chairs and just runs around the ring, hitting some bicycle kicks. Threw some chairs in the ring, so did Matt Sidell. Even Rick Knox went the outside, threw some chairs in the ring. They wrestled around. Sami Callihan did signature stuff like the springboard, lariat, and just, his signature shit, which didn't come off so shitty in this match, but still the match sucked overall. Was able to powerbomb Matt Sidell into a chair, or not a powerbomb, exploder onto a chair. Worked on Matt Sydal's leg after he hit a standing shooting star press and landed awkwardly under his knee. Sami Callihan was able to go for a power bomb on Matt Sydal, try to counter it into Hurricanrana, but Sami Callihan actually ended up putting him into a stretch muffler. And then Matt Sydal just taps that out of nowhere. So very shitty match, even worse ending. The ending really came out of nowhere and just, you know, was very anticlimactic. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say. It's another Sami Callihan match that just wasn't eventful or good. So that was that. Jeff Cobb versus Trent. This was a good match. You know, pretty much your typical Trent match where Trent just thrown around from enjoy the match. Was able to have a nice comeback. You know, to the outside, threw some chairs at Jeff Cobb's head. Hit a pile driver onto the apron on Jeff Cobb. Threw it back in the ring and hit a cradle pile driver for a nice near fall right there. Jeff Cobb kicked out at 2 though. Jeff Cobb just, you know, popping him up and catching him and throwing him around with a bunch of different variations of suplexes. This match kind of just flew by. You know, it was your good, like I said, you know, Trent's really good in these positions where he just gets his ass kicked and gets his, you know, a few jabs in. And those few brief moments of hope that he might actually win. And that's all, you know, that's really good. That's what Trent's really good for. And definitely showcased this match with Cobb here, I thought. Cobb just, something seemed off about Cobb. I don't know what it was. I think that was the theme of the show as well, was just everything just seemed off. And definitely played in this match as well. Like, I thought this match could have been better, but it's still really good for what it was. Trent was able to actually lock in the Dude Buster on Jeff Cobb and actually ended up hitting it, but he didn't cover him in time to get the win. And Jeff Cobb was able to throw him around with some pop-ups and some suplexes followed by the Tour of the Islands for the win. So, yeah, really good match here from both guys. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it could have been a little better, but I thought both men did pretty good for what they were doing. And, you know, I liked on commentary that really try to make it known that, you know, Trent's the person that doesn't give up. And, you know, you have to pretty much think of new innovative ways to put Trent down. So I thought the commentary was really putting Trent over as well. But, yeah, like I said, really good match and fun stuff. And, yeah. And then we go to the main event, which was the best match in the show. Of course, you had the leaders of New School, Xavier Jr. and Marty Scurll versus Red Dragon, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. This was a great main event here. It was pretty long. It was about 3 minutes, but trust me, those 3 minutes just flew by. It's very rare nowadays you can get a tag team match to go that long and keep that interest. But I thought both teams did a fantastic job. The continuity from both teams were just immense. I thought both teams worked really well. Nice frequent tags from the start. You know, a lot of both guys are whoever's in the ring. You know, like Bobby Fish and Zack Sabre Jr. Whoever in the ring together were just, you know, working pretty slow, methodical. They're trying, you know, locking in various submissions, just, you know, getting the feel of each other. Marty Scurll's, you know, pretty much having some fun because this is the first PWG show after he joined the Bullet Club, so he's just kind of messing around and not being, you know, very, very serious. He was pretty much being Party Marty. And it didn't have to match at all. I thought, you know, he did a great job. His tags were great. Just the continuity from him and Zack Sabre Jr. were tremendous. You know, taking advantage of every time the referee wasn't paying attention. The tantrum, you know, Marty kicks, the Marty knees, as followed by the PK kicks from Zack Sabre Jr. Just doing that multiple times in a row while the referee wasn't looking, I thought was tremendous. Kyle O'Reilly got a beautiful hot tag, and him and Zack Sabre Jr. had a great moment in the match where they were just absolutely killing each other, slapping each other while they were in a submission hold. I thought that was a great moment right there. And just, yeah, both teams were able to go out there and just tear the house down. And, you know, this definitely was a great exit for Red Dragon. Of course, this is their last match at PWG. So I thought they went out the bang. You know, they tried to chasing the Dragon a few times. One time, you know, Marty Scurll was able to pull up Bobby Fish to prevent it. They actually able to hit it the second time, but of course the pinfall got broken up. And the ending I thought was great. You know, LDRS was able to hit their tag team finish, which was the missile dropkick Michinoku driver on Kyle O'Reilly, but Bobby Fish broke the pin up. They took out Bobby Fish, and then of course, you know, Zack Sabre Jr. ended up blocking in the triangle rings of Saturn, I guess you can call it. It was kind of like that. I was trying to lock it in, but Kyle O'Reilly was fighting out. Marty Scurll popped Kyle O'Reilly's fingers, which allowed Zack Sabre Jr. to fully lock in the submission while kicking him in the head, which submitted Kyle O'Reilly. So the leaders of New School win. A great main event right here. Really enjoyed this one. Like I said, it was 30 minutes, but the tag team match flew by, and I thought both teams worked tremendously. And, you know, if it was Tornado Rules, I think this match could have been even better. But, you know, for the pacing they had and the time they went, I thought both teams just tore the house down and had an awesome match. So I'm really enjoying the main event. And, of course, after the main event, you know, Chuck Taylor chased off Zack Sabre Jr. and Marty Scurll, got in the mic and challenged Zack Sabre Jr. for pushing forward back for the PWG World title, in which if he lost, that'd be the last time he ever challenged for the title. Zack Sabre Jr. pretty much came out and said, "Suck my dick," and that's pretty much how the show ended. So, yeah, like I said, overall, I thought Man on the Silver Mountain wasn't a terrible show, like some people are putting it. I thought it was good for what it was still. You know, it's pretty short, and, you know, there was 2 great matches. There were 2, you know, solid matches, and there were 2 matches that just sucked. But, you know, I can't really complain. You know, it wasn't the best show, but I don't think it was, you know, that rank of being called terrible or bad or anything. So, but, I mean, for PWG standards, I guess it was bad, but at the same time, like I said, I don't think it was still a bad show by any means. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please like below, and as always, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching the video.